One afternoon, Edward pulled his final train to Brendan. "That's your final train of the day, Edward. Now we must shunt some trucks in the yards," said his driver. Edward was happy. "I love playing with trucks," he said, and then he left. Edward enjoyed himself for the rest of the afternoon. He bumped the trucks and shunted them into place. He shunted a train of trucks into a siding, and when he returned to the yards there was one truck left. As Edward was pushing the truck, its brakes suddenly slipped on by itself. His fireman rushed out and released the brakes before they started again. Then the brakes slipped on again. "Oh, for goodness sake," huffed Edward. The yardsman came over and looked at the truck. "Seems to be a problem with the brakes. Shunt it to that siding out of the way, and then the workmen will look at it tomorrow," he said. But Edward and his driver and fireman misunderstood the yardsman and shunted the truck with the other ones. "Are we supposed to shunt it here?" asked Edward. "Well, this is the only siding, and the truck will be at the end, so it will not be too hard for the workmen to look for it." Edward reversed to the sheds for a rest. The next day, a coal train had to be taken to the harbour through Edward's branch line, and Percy was organising the trucks. He didn't know about the truck with the damaged brakes, and took it with the other ones. Once the trucks were loaded with coal, he took them to Wellsworth Station. Strangely, during the whole journey, the truck's brakes didn't go on at all. Then he left the train at the platform. "Thank you for arranging the trucks, Percy. Boko will now take them down the branch line." "No problem, sir," said Percy, and then he left. A few minutes later, Boko arrived and reversed onto the train. The faulty truck was the first truck behind him on the train. Once the guard blew his whistle, they set off. Boko enjoyed himself mostly. Everything was going well until finally the truck's brakes locked in. There was a loud screeching sound, and the train became very heavy. "What's going on?" shouted a confused Boko. "I can't pull this train!" "What happened?" asked the guard. "There's something wrong with the train. It became very heavy, and there was a huge screeching noise. There's a signal box. You go and inform the signalman that the train is stopped, and I will check out the trucks." So Boko's driver rushed to the signal box right away, while the guard examined the trucks. He saw that the brakes were on the first truck, but when he tried to release them, he couldn't. They had completely jammed this time. Soon Boko's driver returned to the signalman, and the guard explained what had happened. "I will phone and see if I can get another engine to help Boko pull the train to the harbour. It's not too far away, so the journey will not be long," he said. The signalman went and made arrangements. The only engine available was Edward, and he had just finished arranging coaches for a train. Soon the station master rushed over. "Emergency, Edward. Boko was pulling a coal train to the harbour, but the brakes in the first truck have slipped on, and they have completely jammed and won't release. So I need you to help him pull the train." "Oh no, that's my fault. I shunted that truck with the others." "Where is Boko now?" asked Edward's driver. "He is at the last signal box before the harbour on Edward's branch line," replied the station master. "It's the first truck on Boko's train, so you will have to help pull him." "Can't I push him?" asked Edward. "No, pulling him will be much easier," said the station master. Edward's driver agreed. "We will have to go up Bill and Ben's old private line to get in front of Boko," he said. "But that line hasn't been used since the China Clay Works closed down. Is it still safe?" "I'm sure it will be," said his driver. And then Edward set off as quick as he could. He felt very foolish as he raced to his branch line. Soon he went on to a branch line. "Our train has been delayed because of me." "Don't worry, Edward. It was my fault as well," said his driver. He stopped at the point which led to Bill and Ben's old line, and his fireman changed them, and then he set off again. Eventually they saw Boko. "I made it," said a relieved Edward. Boko was very pleased to see Edward. "The truck's brakes have jammed. It will take both of us to pull this train." "No, don't worry about it. The harbour isn't far away," said Edward. Soon Edward reversed up to Boko, and the fireman coupled them up. Both engines pulled with all of their might, and it was very tough to get the train started, but eventually they were moving. "We've done it! We've done it!" said a happy Edward. The truck's brakes screeched loudly, but neither of the two engines curd. Eventually they arrived, and the manager was waiting. "I'm sorry we're late," said a guilty Edward. No need to worry. Coincidentally, the ship has been delayed and will not start for another 20 minutes. So we have plenty of time to get the coal loaded." "Oh, that's good luck," said a relieved Boko. Edward gloomily looked back at Boko. "I'm sorry about what happened, Boko. It was my fault. I knew about that truck yesterday, and I shunted it with the others." "We all make mistakes, Edward. Even old grand ones like you," he said. Edward smiled. "Thank you for understanding, Boko. Of course, at the end of the day, no one's perfect." Late that night, the truck was loaded onto a flatbed. No more mistakes. The next time that truck is on the rails, it will be in full working order again.